Shalom, Kal Halal, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Bahasham, Recha HaKodash. Double honor to the elder apostles of the Great Millstone, GMS. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the elect. Adawan Ratazah, that is to say, Lord willing. So, Lord willing, this lesson is edifying. So, I've got a few articles, recent articles to share with you. Alright? And depending on the length of each one, I might not, go into the whole thing, but, just touch on them. Okay? Because, we're in some serious times. Okay? Okay? You know, in fact, what time are we in? All right, we're definitely um in a time of upheaval. Okay, uprisings, right? Insurrection. All right, what time are we in terms of prophecy? Right, we're in a time of war. Okay, we're in the time of Yahushua visiting the earth which he made. Okay, and things like that. This first article is from Natural News, and it says Chinese submarines, the Chinese are the Moabites, okay, can now track and sink US Navy aircraft carriers. Okay, so these other nations are getting stronger. Okay, and this was dated on the 18th of November this year, 2024, which was just yesterday, the hopeful year of Jacob's trouble. Okay, while not quite up to par in terms of being an equal contender with the United States, right? Because America, is still that major superpower. All right, but China's is up and coming as well. All right, Russia's a superpower too. Okay, and things like that. But the Chinese, they don't have next anyway. Okay, so communist China is moving right along with an advanced military technology that is now capable of both tracking and sinking U.S. Navy aircraft carriers. In 2015, China's People Liberation Army was able to successfully track an American aircraft carrier positioned near the coast of Japan using one of China's own Kilo class fast attack submarines. The sub tracked the USS Ronald Reagan for more than 12 hours in what officials described as open quote more than a brief encounter end quote. According to Beijing, the Ronald Reagan was sailing through Chinese waters at the time of the encounter, which was similar to another from back in 2006, when a Chinese Song-class sub surfaced undetected within torpedo range of the USS Kitty Hawk. Since that time, China has also made great strides in harassing American aircraft with Chinese fighter jets over the South China Sea. China has also even further advanced its submarine fleet capabilities to more easily and effectively track American military ships throughout the region. Okay. So here it is, man. We have nations outside of America warning and preparing for war. Okay. Nations outside of America warning their citizens to prepare for war too, and are actually, flexing their nuclear arsenal and their military weapons, their naval ships, their military jets, so on and so forth. Okay. Meanwhile, America is too busy entertaining its people. Okay. So does that sound like a peace to you? All right. Here's another article from End Time Headlines. .org, and it says underwater communication cables have been cut near Europe, raising sabotage suspicions. Yeah, you have an underwater you know cable, an internet cable as well. U.S. allies warned of open quote hybrid warfare end quote Tuesday after two undersea communication cables were severed in the Baltic Sea, raising suspicions that they may be the latest act of sabotage targeting the West as it clashes with Russia. German Defense Minister Boris Pistorius said Tuesday that open quote no one believes that these cables were cut accidentally end quote after a rupture in a 730-mile cable linking Germany and Finland was detected Monday. Open quote we have to state without knowing specifically who it came from that it is a hybrid action, he said, and we also have to assume without knowing it yet that it is sabotage end quote. Lithuania's navy said Tuesday that it had increased monitoring of its waters after damage to a separate cable connecting the Baltic nation with Sweden's Gotland island. Right, that was detected on Sunday. Okay. So yeah. So all many things are happening all at once. All right. Again, meanwhile, you have America and its people being entertained with bread and circus. That Jake Paul, Mike Tyson was a farce to me. All right. Anyway, all these lies and deceptions that are being, peeled back, and the truth is springing forth. right, through the Spirit, as is prophesied, man. Okay, so since the warnings are and have gone out and still going out, when sudden destruction comes, these Babylonians, they won't expect it, man. Okay, these Americans ain't gonna know what's going to hit them, and the prophets of Yahweh Shemashai, blowing the trumpet and sounding the alarm, all right, of these things that's about to happen on planet Earth. Okay, let's move on to the next one. All right, Russia is deploying additional army forces on JJ border, on the JJ's border, the small hats. All right. Russia's defense ministry announced on Wednesday it had deployed additional forces in the Syrian-controlled areas of the Golan Heights, where the statehood of the JJs had allegedly struck at an increasing rate over the last few months. The forces from Russia's military police were tasked with de-escalating tensions in the Syrian provinces of Quneitra and Dara, as well as monitoring the long-standing ceasefire issued as part of the Syrian civil war. According to Russia, military posts belonging to the Syrian military are located below the Russian observation posts set up to monitor open quote possible provocations, end quote. Russia's decision to make their presence in the Golan Heights comes after Moscow condemned the strike blamed on the JJs targeting the Persian consulate in Syria. Moscow called on the JOO state to cease such completely unacceptable actions and has requested a meeting with the UN Security Council regarding the strike. Alright? So hey, things are certainly, heating up over there in that area of the so-called Middle East. Okay, Scripture mentions droughts and economic collapse, civil wars. All these things are happening on a small scale, but more of this is to come. Okay, let's go to the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3. All right. We'll start from verse 1. And it reads, "To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven." Alright, and that's true. Okay. A time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to break down and a time to build up. Alright, we're in that, that time to kill, man. We're in that time to break down. Right, the Caucasian people, alright, the so-called WHITE, man, alright. We're at a point where, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemashai's kingdom is being broken down, alright, through the word being pushed forth out, okay, these lies being exposed and things like that, alright, his kingdom's coming to an end. Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth, alright, okay. Verse 4, a time to weep and a time to laugh. We're not in that time to laugh, but you see 2/3 of our people in Babylon the Great, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, who are the true biblical Hebrew Israelites, and the Israelite foreigner speckled bird. All right, Israelites elsewhere in the world, who trust in oppression, trust in their government, trust in the ways of this world rather than the Lord. All right, and 2/3 of our people in America, they're in that time of mirth and partying and laughter. Okay, that dance spirit as well. Okay, they're not, considering the times. Okay, it's better to be in the house of mourning than in the house of feasting, and that's the spirit that we're in. Okay, because we know what's going to take place. We know what's going to happen. All right. Verse 5, a time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones together, a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to get and a time to lose, a time to keep and a time to cast away, a time to rend and a time to sow, a time to keep silence and a time to speak. And we're at the time we're speaking, man. All right, we're not holding back. We're prophesying what's happening. All right, we're speaking. Okay, the oracles of the Most High. All right, but there's gonna come a time when the Lord is gonna silence the mouth of his prophets. All right, tongue shall cleave unto the roof of their mouths. All right. So, famine of hearing the words of the Lord is about to happen. Okay, so let's get another article. So, yeah. Look at this. Again from endtimeheadlines.org. Russia threatens the United Kingdom. Okay. Russia threatens the United Kingdom with nuclear war by Christmas in chilling World War III warning. So World War III is prophesied in the Bible, man. Right? The first two worlds have already gone, World War One and World War Two, and the third world is going to come quickly. That's World War Three, which is going to be nuclear. You see, Western allies, including Britain, France, and the US, have taken a big jump towards a nuclear conflict by giving Ukraine permission to fire Western-long missiles into the Kremlin territory. A pro-Putin spokesperson, Sergei Markov, has said. A regular Putin mouthpiece, Markov warned that the shock move by US President Joe Biden could mean that Britons could be facing a Christmas in shelters. For all you wicked people that celebrate Christmas, man, I'm gonna feel it. You shouldn't be celebrating Christmas as an Israelite anyway. It's going off. The threat in an interview on BBC Radio 4's The World at One was also echoed by President-elect Donald Trump's son, Donald Trump Jr., who suggested that those behind the move to approve Ukraine's use of the missiles wanted to, open quote, make sure they got World War III going before my father has a chance to create peace and save lives, end quote. That's what. So that's what he said. Okay. These devils are all about death, man. Harbinger of death. Okay. Look how much lives that they've taken throughout their history, throughout even throughout Babylon's inception. Alright? Babylon the Great's inception. Okay. About saving lives. Don't trust them. The wicked are estranged as soon as they're born, man. Speaking lies. You see? That's why we don't trust our enemies. Okay? They don't care about you at all. Alright? That's that pale horse in Revelation chapter 6. Okay? And he's taking peace from the earth, man. President Biden's move, however, has been welcomed by Ukraine by senior UK defense sources and by many European leaders. The move will allow Ukraine to fire US ATACM missiles, UK Storm Shadow missiles, and French Scalp missiles into Kremlin territory. Yeah, so we're in a time of war, not peace. Right? Hell is getting ready to break loose. A lot can happen, even before the year 2025, and everything is in place already. Okay? Right now, the Lord is not with peace. Well, he's with peace with the elect, but right now he's all about war. Okay? You see? Look at this one. NATO holds large Arctic exercises in Russia's backyard. Think Russia's really going to stand for that? Alright? Russia was never part of the beast system. Alright? Sounds of cannon fire and rocket artillery echo across the snowy, hilly Lapland landscape as some 3,600 soldiers from the United States, Sweden, the United Kingdom, France, and other NATO members conduct live fire drills throughout November. They are part of NATO's largest artillery exercise ever held in Europe, dubbed Dynamic Front 25, which also includes drills in Estonia, Germany, Romania, and Poland, involving a total of around 5,000 soldiers. Joel, a researcher at the Finnish Institute of International Affairs, said the massive exercises should be interpreted as a message to Russia, with which Finland shares a 1,340 kilometer, which is 830-mile border. Okay. These NATO exercises are increasingly intended to show other countries, in this case especially Russia, of course, that the alliance is united and is capable of defending its members, he said. The exercises are the first large-scale maneuvers held in Finland since the Nordic country joined NATO last year, when it dropped decades of military non-alignment following Russia's February 2022 invasion of Ukraine. Okay, so things are heating up. Things are gonna go nuclear. Okay, and if all these things are happening now, man, the MOTB, which is the RFID micro CHIP, is very close to being mandated, all around the world. Okay. Let's get as many scriptures that we know and that we can bring out. All right. Just want to touch on a lot of things because you can't keep up, man. All right. At all. It's too much. Okay. The harvest is plenty, but the labourers are few, man. There's just too many things to touch on. Okay. Let's go to the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 16 and verse 7. May one turn again the arrow that is shot of a strong archer. Alright? Once those missiles, intercontinental ballistic missiles, right, which are those arrows, the modern day arrows, are shot off, there's no turning them back. Okay? Verse 8, the mighty Lord sendeth the plagues, and who is he that can drive them away? Once the Lord sends something out, man, you can't drive that away. Okay? You see? Donald Trump mentioned mass deportation as soon as he gets into office. Okay? That's a lot of people to deport. Alright, of course, the Hebrew Israelites is on top of the agenda. Okay, mainly, the Great Millstone. Alright? But nonetheless, Donald Trump, he's talking about, deporting all these different people from all these different countries that came in, right, to America. Alright? That's definitely going to bring about turmoil and resistance, man. Uprising and rebellion. You see? They're going to utilize the digital all, right? To bribe these migrants from leaving, all right? Use that as an excuse to lock things down and entrap the masses, okay? And if you take this device, we can then register you as a citizen and blah, blah, blah. You can receive all these benefits and privileges, whatever, whatever, all right? So 2025 will be even more interesting than this year, okay? Of course, we can't forget this. Mark chapter 13, straight to the point. And verse 7, when you shall hear of wars and rumours of wars, be you not troubled, for such things must needs be, but the end shall not be yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be earthquakes in divers places, and there shall be famines and troubles. These are the beginning of sorrows. You see? So that's what this is what Yahushua said, whom the world incorrectly and ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Right? So-called black man from the tribe of Judah. Alright? It's in red letters, so he said this. Okay? Yeah. Wars and rumours of wars. Those articles are living proof of this. Clear examples of this. Alright? Things heating up over there in the so-called Middle East. Alright? The Lord is a man of war. The Lord is his name. Exodus 15:3. The Lord is a man of war. Yahweh is his name. Alright? So there you have it. Alright? Get one more. Alright, and then we can close out. Look at this. Russia, this is today, November the 19th, 2024. Russia vows tangible and appropriate response if US missiles used against its territory. Russia has warned that the use of US long-range missiles by Ukraine will lead to an appropriate and tangible response. A statement issued by the foreign ministry said that such an attack inside Russian territory would represent the direct involvement of the United States and its satellites in hostilities against Russia. Right? It is not clear if his successor, President-elect Donald Trump, was consulted on whether he will stick by the decision, having promised to end the Russia-Ukraine war. That's not going to happen. Okay, World War III must and will happen. It's Bible prophecy. So he's not going to end it. Okay? Whoever, it doesn't matter who would be, in that presidential seat. World War III is not going to end. Okay? You see? On Tuesday, Russian President Vladimir Putin announced critical updates to Russia's nuclear doctrine, signaling a potential nuclear response to conventional missile strikes. He emphasized that any attack on Russia, even by non-nuclear nations supported by nuclear-armed states, would be considered a collective assault on the Russian Federation. The new document lists 10 threats that require counteraction through deterrence. You see? So what does that sound like to you? Alright? There you go. Let's get one last last scripture then, where we can end it. Alright, Lord willing. Okay. Revelation 11 and 14. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. There you have it. See, it's pretty much self-explanatory. Second woe was World War II. That's past, and third woe is coming quickly. Okay. Ancient wars, they were fought with, with actual shield and, horsemen and swords, right, in close combat. This is going to be with burning of fire, man, nuclear, thermonuclear, destruction, missiles. You see? So with that, I'm going to say shalom.